we'll start up right up front.
Justin, here we are, another postseason series and another Game 1 start for you. As you reminded everyone the other night, and it was all over social media, don't take this stuff for granted. You were telling your teammates. I guess you tell yourself that all the time when you get in these situations. Don't take this stuff for granted.
Absolutely. I'm always kind of reminded of my first year. Sean Casey got traded over to us in Detroit, and he had 10 years in the league. And I just remember him talking about the opportunity to play in the playoffs because he had never had that opportunity with as long as he had been in the league, and how exciting it was to him. And I guess that perspective has just always stuck with me. Knowing that this isn't easy, and no matter how long you play, it can always be your last chance.
Do you get that same level of excitement as you did the first time?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, anxiousness, nerves, excitement, all of it. Yeah, all the feels.
Go to Brian about 4 rows back.
What do you think sort of separates the Astros and that they're able to just overcome these long stretches of days off and just keep churning? Because what happened in the DS, the teams that had the layoffs, and even last year you guys had a long time between series and you just still kept winning. What's in the DNA to where that doesn't bother this club?
I don't know. This year was good. I think the depth of our lineup helps tremendously. Just because a lot of times you need a few guys hot. Obviously not if everybody's hot at the same time, that's great. But if you have 2 or 3 guys that can be hot, it's going to help you. And with our depth, and I think a lot of it is the lack of swing and miss. Guys put the ball in play, things happen. The quality of at bats that those guys give. You still find yourself with men on base and opportunities, which is what it's all about. I don't know. You look back to last year too, and it wasn't easy. I mean, if Jordan doesn't hit that homer in Game 1 against Seattle and another homer in the next game, I mean, who knows? Who knows what happens last year? So I wouldn't say that we have any special recipe that anybody else doesn't. I think it's still difficult. It's difficult with days off. I think we embrace that. Everybody knows it and has just tried to find their own. I mean, I think that's the thing with going to the ALCS as many times in a row as we have. You're definitely going to have times where you have days off. If you sweep a series and the other, you're going to have 4 or 5 days off in a row. It just happens. So I think each individual guy has learned their routine of how to deal with the downtime to allow them to be where they need to be physically, mentally to go out there and succeed.
Go to Christy in the second row on your right.
Hey, Justin, with 2 of the 2 oldest managers in all of baseball facing off in the ALCS, I wondered, from your perspective, what do you see as some of the benefits of having an older manager?
I think just experience, instincts, kind of like we've been there before and have seen a lot. And, I think, kind of like older pitchers, those instincts, they're there for a reason, and you can trust your gut, and I think a lot of times it works out.
We'll stay in the first row here.
Justin, the other night on the broadcast, Smoltz, in so many words, said you throw the regular season out the window now, it doesn't matter. Is that kind of the singular focus you have to have this time of the year, that it's every pitch, it's every play, it's every game, it's the series itself?
Absolutely, yeah. Regular season doesn't mean anything anymore. And I think it's a different game. Playoffs is a different brand of baseball. I think just when you put every guy on the roster together and have this mentality of do everything you can every single play to try to win a baseball game, it sounds odd, but during the regular season it doesn't always work like that. We play 162 games. It's a lot of baseball, and it'll wear you down. And sometimes, you maybe take off mentally a little bit here or there, or ease off the gas. You see position players not trying to do too much on ground ball, on a routine ground ball, or, it might be close, but it's not worth it for them to try to sniff out that extra base hit, or, stretch first to second or first to third. The pitching, you give in certain situations, where in the regular season it doesn't matter so much. But now it's quite different. It's just much more intense, and you try to scratch and claw every single extra advantage that you can get on both sides of the ball, and hopefully that helps you win a baseball game.
Fifth row in the right center aisle.
Justin, obviously you spent a bulk of your career in the AL Central. What was it like to face guys like Brantley and Abreu, and what have you learned from them being teammates with them now?
Yeah, it wasn't fun facing them, first off. They give you great at-bats. And I think that's what I appreciate more now playing with them, is just the quality of their approach, and the consistency with which they go up there and, stick to their game plan. Try not to give in to the pitcher, and in the long run, that usually pays dividends.
The last row on your left, Chandler.
Justin, it came under unfortunate circumstances that you got injured, but because you missed that first month and a half of the season, do you feel fresher now maybe compared to postseasons of the past?
I appreciate you saying that, but no, I feel the same.
And one row ahead, Disha.
So you only had 3 games pitched this year, or 6 days or longer of rest. Just how do you feel about this particular longer layoff, and did you do anything differently to prepare?
Through 2 bullpens. There's you're kind of it's a bit of a balancing act right now, as Chandler alluded to. You're trying to get yourself as fresh as possible, but you're also trying to stay sharp. Have a tendency to lose a little bit of feel sometimes with an extended rest. My first couple innings the other day were not too crisp, so you just try to do what you can to keep the rhythm and tempo. But you can't fake game speed. You just can't replicate that in a bullpen setting. So, you do everything you possibly can. It's kind of like hitters. You try to keep your timing. You go face pitchers. You do whatever you got to do. But hopefully when the lights turn on, it's just it clicks.
Third row on your left, Justin.
I know you said the regular season doesn't matter at this point, but you just faced this team about a month ago. How much can you take from that outing?
I don't know. Obviously, both sides will be watching that, but try not to take probably too much from it. Each game's unique and different, and there's a back and forth game that's happening, and so I won't dig too much into that, I don't think.
Second row on your left.
Justin, if you don't mind, could you take us through your game day routine before you come to the park, and if so, is it the same in the postseason as it is for regular season with the
Yeah, it's the same. I wouldn't really change anything. I maybe come a little earlier during the postseason, but sleep in pretty late. Try to get as much rest as I can if it's a night game. Usually order some food. It's usually a cheeseburger of some variety. I won't say where I order it from. It changes occasionally depending on how the start goes, obviously. Also a chicken Caesar salad. I'll start with that. And then, let's see, I'll leave for the field usually around 2:45. A Starbucks run. There's a Starbucks run in there. And then leave for the field 2:45, get here, change, start doing my homework. And then obviously it's pretty scripted from there. But, I'm simplifying it a bit. I used to have a lot more little quirks and stuff. I used to leave the plate I ate on out, and nobody was allowed to clean it up. I don't know for what. I must have been running late for one game or something, and left the plate out and had a really good game. So that stuck around for a while. I've tried to. I think my daughter's helped me a lot. Just being able to kind of get out of my own way sometimes before games, and I really try to just enjoy the time with her before I come to the field, and it's a pleasant distraction from what's to come. And she just is just the light of my life. So it's so fun to spend that time with her.
Do a few more. Matt in the left center aisle.
There was a great detail. I love that about what we don't see, and we don't see a lot. players who've been around as long as you have and have pitched in so many big games will often say it's different. Postseason is different.
Mm-hmm.
But can you expand on it so that a fan can understand what that means? Because if you didn't play, you don't know.
I guess the difference would be like an analogy that just popped in my head. I don't know if this makes sense or not, but like, you go to class every single day in college or in high school or whatever, and every day's class. You got to pay attention, and you're there, but you can kind of ease off a little bit versus the midterm exam day or the big exam or big essay or whatever that one day is that you've prepared the whole season for, or the whole semester for. And when you show up that day, it's just different. It's business. It's a little more strict. It's a little more strict. You're not coming in goofing off with people. If you're taking it seriously, obviously that counts. But if you're taking it seriously, you've prepared months, years, a lifetime. For these moments. You're not going to just treat it like any other day.
And one or two last ones. David, on your right.
Justin, a lot of deep playoff runs for you personally and for this team. The question is, 8 months of grinding, if you include spring training, how do you guys physically and especially mentally keep the focus and keep grinding into early November year after year? What's the key to that?
I think the locker room culture. I think that has a lot to do with it. The personnel of the guys. Not only do we expect to be here, but we plan it and prepare for it and go and play the game with that in mind. I know it sounds simple, but I think it's very easy to become complacent after you've been there, done that for a while, and that just doesn't happen here. If anything, every time. In my experience, obviously I wasn't there in spring training this past year, but it's almost the opposite. You go to the ALCS, you go win a World Series. A lot of times I would expect that you show up in spring training the next year with a little more relaxed attitude, and that doesn't seem to be the case with these guys. And it just from the leaders of this team, and that just permeates throughout the entire locker room and organization.
One last one. All right, Justin, great to see you.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate your time. Good to see you in another ALCS. Bruce Bochy should be in here about 3:25.